Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more.
You're listening to The Man That Can Project with Lachlan Stuart, a global movement created to empower men and open up what's really going through their minds by having real and raw conversations about life's unique challenges and our individual ways of processing it all. Welcome to The Man That Can Project.
Yo, gents, welcome back to another episode of the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart and I'm your host, along with a men's performance coach, focused on helping you to take your life to that next level through my coaching and programs and all of these incredible episodes with our guests. So thank you for being a valued member of our community. I really do appreciate you taking the time to dive into these episodes. And for those who are members of the free Facebook group, the Inner Circle, if you've done any of the programs that we offer to help you guys take your life to that next level, I'm truly grateful for that. It means a ton. So today, gents, I've just finished running training. I wasn't planning on doing a podcast today, but just based off how I felt today and I guess the experiences over the weekend, I wanted to share that with you as it really highlighted to me why I limit my alcohol use. So I just want to say before I go into this, what I'm going to talk about is I don't believe that we should not drink alcohol. I just think there are at certain points in our life where we may need to have a good hard look at how we use it. And, as I'm going to point out here, I know for myself that when I was really struggling mentally, alcohol was the last thing I needed to be fucking consuming, right? I know for a fact there are so many men out there that continue the drinking, whether it's during the week or the weekend, and they are feeling anxious, they're feeling low, they're not feeling happy or confident with themselves. And I know there are multiple factors as to why our mental health can be affected. I get that. I understand that. But I also know there are so many of us that aren't taking responsibility for the factors that we can control. And I was reminded of this just based upon how I feel today, how I felt yesterday, and how I felt Saturday as a result of my alcohol use and a result of my poor sleep, right? There's just two factors that I know we have complete control over that can positively impact our mental health and our mental well-being that I was not paying attention to. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for letting my hair down and everything like that. But for those who've been listening to the last few episodes or even, in the Facebook group, etc., I've been talking a lot about alcohol use and how for me personally, over the last 4 to 5 months, I've been drinking more alcohol than I have probably over the last 6 years, right? So to me, it's a big deal. Probably for the standard dude, I'm still fucking well below. But here's what I'm starting to really notice. I'm starting to notice that it takes me about till Wednesday or Thursday to start feeling good again. And what I mean by good, and when I was drinking a lot, let me just touch on this. I thought I felt good, right? I would come good by a Tuesday or Monday afternoon. But I was just so used to feeling terrible that I didn't really know what it felt like to feel good, to have the energy, to have a clear head, to feel confident. And what I'm experiencing now, I feel dry is essentially how I put it. My muscles feel dried out. So when I was just running before, I just didn't feel like I had an energy. I didn't want to push it because I was worried about injuring myself. I have aches and pains in my joints due to probably inflammation. My mood is flat and I feel quite low and disappointed in myself, unhappy. I actually even feel like I'm getting a gut, which I know is complete bullshit. It's just a feeling based upon how I feel. And so I was sitting there after training thinking, for what purpose am I continuing to do this, right? Like normally I'll have a drink every month or so, if that. And there's intention behind catching up and having a good time. But why have I been doing it more regularly? And what do I need to do to stop? Or at what point do I need to stop right now? Because it's affecting how I feel. It's affecting my productivity. It's affecting so many things that I don't want to negatively impact. So I want you guys to think about this as well. If you sit there and if you struggle with anxiety, depression, low moods, poor confidence, self-esteem, focus, energy, clarity, I can keep going. Are you aware of your alcohol use? Are you aware of your sleep patterns? I went to bed, I think, around 1:32 on Friday night, and then I went to bed about 4 o'clock on 4 a.m. on Saturday night. So what I would consider, I'm normally waking up at 4, right? So my whole sleep cycle was thrown out. I didn't get a good night's sleep. Even last night I went to bed at 7 p.m. and I didn't get a good night's sleep based off my Whoop score and my REM cycles and my deep sleep. And so I know that it's having a negative ripple effect into other aspects of my life and how I'm performing. And for those who are listening to this, right, I know the reason why you guys show up and continue to invest time in this is because you are wanting to take your life to that next level. I would consider yourself someone working their way to being a high achiever. Now, high achievers are aware of how you act or the actions that you take right now impact future results. But are you aware of how your sleep, and there's a whole list of other things you've got control over, but let's just do sleep and alcohol because that's what I know I really neglected over the weekend. How are you utilizing them right now? And are they negatively impacting your life in a way that you probably don't want it to be? Right? Are you working towards big goals, but you keep stuffing up? And I know I only did a podcast on alcohol a few weeks ago, and I know I had Sam Hardy on here also talking incredibly well about his experience of going off alcohol. So definitely listen to those if you haven't listened to them yet. But I'm talking about this again from my own experience, having had probably a decent hit out over the weekend. And so on top of, what I was feeling at training, I know I'm feeling mentally foggy. I'm not feeling as motivated, driven. I feel underprepared for the week, which I know is going to limit my productivity and the results that I'm creating this week, the impact that I'm going to have, the results that I'm going to drive. And I'm not happy about that. I'm going to get on top of it. That's why I'm going to be working late tonight. But I should have been on the front foot, and I know I could have been had I been prepared for this. So whether you take this as a rant or whether you sort of can sit down and shake your head and go, fuck man, I've noticed I've been falling into the same thing, it doesn't matter. As long as you are aware of what your current habits or the results that your current habits are driving and you're okay with that, then continue to move forward. But if you're not happy, maybe time to start having a big, hard look in the mirror and identifying some things to work on so that you can control the things that you have control over, such as your sleep, such as your diet, such as your exercise, such as your alcohol, even substance usage. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you aren't a member of the free Facebook group, dive in there now. I'd love to have you guys in there. I'm looking forward to everyone who's joining. I'm having a conversation with through voice message, which is awesome fun. I'm getting to learn more about you, where you'd like your life to get to. And if I have some tools and resources available in the group, I'm tagging the boys in them so they get instant value straight away. So if you're wanting to take your life to that next level and they're just curious, right? Curious as to how the Man That Can project works, dive in the group, connect with me, and I look forward to touching base in the future. And please, guys, take an extra moment to review this episode, give it 5 stars, share it with a mate who you know needs to hear it. Thank you, guys. Have a great afternoon, and we'll chat to you shortly. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart. And I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.